Cool. It's going to be Donnie coming to Massage Japan Pinku Style Podcast, episode number 139. And this is going to be the last couple podcasts we've been doing has been gaming centric and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so TC, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, so now I see your thumbnail, but I don't see you and the triggers trying to slide in there.
Hold tight. I'm gonna try to double back out, and I'm gonna be right back in. Okay.
There's one thing I noticed too is the mics are like for whatever reason muted too. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Lex joint got right in, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But the cool man. But yeah, guys, my bad. That was a weird start to the podcast. We got a group of guys that we got a little group within the groups and everything. So anyway, man, we've been driving on what GTU now for what? How many days have it been on so far, Lex?
Almost a week, man.
Almost a week. Yeah. And then we'll get into it, man. But it was dudes not even 24 hours like, man, I'm disappointed. This and this. I'm like, bro, the game ain't even 2 days old and you already know everything. It took them 10 years to make this shit. And you know what I mean? You already know everything, man. But so I mean, jump right into it, man. Like how productive have you been in other facets of life in the last week?
Only thing I've done is go to work and take showers. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been up late, almost dozing off. Literally almost off when I'm in there. Okay, I hear.
Yeah,
we in here, baby.
What's going on? Son? Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what's going on with the thing, man. But like I said, we can hear everybody, but y'all video not coming in and everything. So Lex, I got Lex. What's up?
I got trigger on my screen right here.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see, man. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, but that shit, man, I've been doing a different kind of grind on that game. It hasn't been like I used to do on Gran Turismo's go, hustle, run straight through everything. But they got the game set up way differently now, which I enjoy.
I'm not sure what's going on with everybody. I mean, you're the only person I see, man. So you said, yeah, I see Trigger's. I see his icon, but like I said, I can't see.
I'm here.
Oh, I got you, man. So you got that.
Yeah. Off because I was making my daughter grab something from me. Yeah, I was trying to put the finishing touches on this crazy firearm I was building. I'm finally wrapped up with it.
Oh, really? What do you got?
Yeah.
Or what do you
Well, I finally got pieces in because I built a 7.5 inch barrel. I finally got all in. I was putting them on yesterday. I was putting my folding attachment on yesterday, and I almost lost the detent piece that goes inside here.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it flew across the room because I wasn't paying.
You had to, yo,
God damn, man. Hopefully, well, like I said, we'll get rolling, man. Because like I said, hopefully this will fix itself, man. Or because like last time you jumped right in, it's just showing a DP now. And Lex, I can see Lex clear as day. But we might have to because I've been doing Zoom a little bit, man. So we might switch to for Zoom, yeah, because they falling behind, man. I can't have this shit like this, man. But anyway, we can hear you though, Trigger. I can hear you on my end and everything, and all that stuff, man. So anyway, just get right to it, man. How's everything been as far as the gaming so far on your end, man? And like, you know, what have you seen on both of you guys that's shocked you, surprised you, and what are you looking forward to, man?
Well, on my end, what's got me excited about this game, bro, is the figure out the new way of driving that they want. They're programming to it. It's amazing because you can't slack. You got to be on point. If not, you're gonna suffer tremendously.
Yeah. I think that's what all the day one belly aching was too, because as they said, and I guess it's kind of like when they say shit, we don't know what the extent that it's gonna be. When they said, when you go over crests, when you go over curves, when there's undulations, where it's all that shit. When they said that was gonna be,
it feels like, okay.
Yeah, important because it gets to the point certain times you cannot be full throttle on tracks where we've been driving them so many years on these platforms.
Yeah.
Right.
You've always been full throttle. You can't go full throttle there because you'll hit a bump, you'll go off, you'll go sideways, the shit will get light and put you like 7 feet across from where you thought you were gonna be. I like it, dog, because you got to learn to be fast without being heavy on the throttle.
Right.
So that I can do the same lap times I used to do on the other platform, but I'm like way more calculated with my actual throttle inputs. So I
that's
like.
What I'm trying now.
That's what you're trying. Matter of fact, motherfucker, you got fast, yo. You got fast, yo.
Bro, I'm trying, bro. Like I've been. That's why I was on sport where you was doing the motorcycle stuff. I was on here trying to get it in. Like once I got my wheel back, all that, I've been trying to just program. So I know Gran Turismo's coming up. So lobbies, I want to be running competition with everybody. I don't want to just be you and Eleanor out in front while everybody else behind. No. I want it to be 3-way, 4-way, 5-way competition to where it's like anybody can be victors. Anybody, it can come out.
Yeah. Nah, well, you the work shows, because like I said, I had to make that RX-7 faster because I'm like, yo, it's not like you got a straightaway speed and then I catch you in the turns. It's like if I get bounced on, I'm bounced on. So I was like, oh, that's hype. That makes me like, okay, let me be on my A game when I play the time now.
Yeah. Did you guys? Because that's actually that was my first time online, Lex. When the lobby, I didn't go online. Did you? Because I did feel it because I actually just had that car. I know I did some changes on it. Are you feeling the physics change in lobbies or nah? It feels the same.
A lot of change on physics. So. Not so familiar with all of the physics cues now.
Just for I'm talking about more so for online.
Online versus offline. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm not too keen on physics cues yet. So I'm not sure what has been, if it has been a difference from online driving to offline driving.
Well, because 34 I just said, like I checked the settings again. They were like a little bit WitchCon, but I was actually running that car last night, like full control, and I was sliding off the track like easy on Tsukuba, man. Like, and I just did 5, 10, 15 laps of 5 lap races and everything. So it kind of seemed like, and it got to be different because I mean they're kind of for bandwidth and all that stuff. Man.
No,
you don't think so?
You know what it is. I probably have the lobby set on a different time of day than you may have driven on. That is very key on this game. Time of day, whatever the cloud coverage or weather that we have on there. You'll probably notice as you go through the menus and challenges and everything. You'll be like, oh, I know this track. I'm gonna rip. Like me, I spent so much time doing time attacks. I go to a track. I say I'll be able to do, let's just say, a 137 here. Right. Yeah. Whatever I was practicing on, the time of day, the atmosphere, everything, I was able to hit 137s. I can go in there and you could have it set way different. It could be clear day, but early morning, and that track is slippery as shit, and I'm only knocking out 142s. And can't figure out why, but that's it. Different. I just, because they were saying that the atmosphere is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
And Daytona, going around one side of the track in my I did a truck race there. Going on one side of the track, I could do 142. Going on the other side of the track in the wind, they can only do 134.
Now,
so all of that is very important now.
What about you, Trigger? Have you been online a bunch, or are you feeling any different changes as far as the online stuff?
I've been online a few times. There's some questionable lobbies that people set up with the PPs and power wise, tire wise, but in the elements, as in nighttime, sun's out, cloudy, rain. The rain is the most extreme. Thing I've been feeling.
They definitely fixed that and everything, man. Before we go further, man, I got it. Last week we had well, not last week. Last time on, we had all sponsor Lexis King Syrup and everything. So go ahead and buy that. Go to Amazon King Syrup. You can get that. Then today we're going to be sponsored by Popeyes and everything. New partner of Pinku Style. You see the P on there is replaced with my logo and the rest of it there. So we're working on the copyright stuff right now, and pretty much they're just going to provide me chicken every round I drift and everything. So we're working on that. So just make it happen, man. Stay positive. No, I'm fucking around, man. They ain't give me no fucking chicken, man. Yeah, man. So they got all that stuff, man. But no, man, it's been yeah, man. I just, man, like this. Luckily, you know, I'm like I kind of reached like my quota for like the month and everything, so I kind of like was able to take a couple of days off more than I thought and everything. But well, not take days off, but like kind of play the game late at night after I do my work and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's cool. Like I was talking to you, Lex. I wanted to kind of expand on what I was saying. This game, a lot of the game, what people are seeing, they don't realize, you know, as a Japanese guy made the game, blah, 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 whatever. But the way that this set up, that game, the way the game is set up is how Japan functions today. Like, there's like, you can't go to step C before you go to, they don't work like that. So you got to go A, B, C, D, E. So they didn't let you go like all over the thing and roam and do what you want to do and unlock. You got to go to this cafe, do this. And so that, to me, annoyed me. I didn't mind playing it, but it's what I deal with on a daily here in Japan, man. And so that kind of rubbed me a different way. And also doing a license, they put all the dudes in there, right? They put Post Malone in there and the other guy in there, whatever, right? The little license dudes, right? Look just like Post Malone, that Solace dude. Yeah. So you notice, like, already put the dudes there, and every time you go to a new license, it changed, right? And then so the super license is a Japanese dude. So it's like they put, all right, so it's like all, so you know what I mean? It's I look at it, I mean, nobody probably even caught that, man, but it's like they're going to like, all right, yeah, you got, you know, Euro winner this year, but we're going to put the Japanese guys to the top echelon. This is what you got to be and everything. So it's like they do a lot of snide stuff like that, man. The Japanese are cool, but they're passive aggressive, arrogant, if you want to, if you know what I mean. So they won't tell you right to your face like Americans, Australians, UK guys will do. They'll make it known like behind the scenes, or they'll play with you different, man. So there's been some like more than before, I never seen before, but there's been some cultural things worked into the production of the game. But that's whatever. That doesn't fuck up the gameplay. The gameplay was dope up until you know, I got to S10. And I was like, what the fuck is this about, man?
Tell the people what Super License 10 is.
Go ahead, Trigger, man. Did you do it, Trigger?
I'm trying to, bro.
Oh, yeah. Let me actually, let me bring up the video here, man. I got it on my did I put it on there?
Empty.
What it is you're driving this nice Ford supercar.
Yeah, it's actually the Porsche 17, the old Porsche 917.
Bro,
dude's got a whole holy fuck, bro. Dude's got a whole guide and like everything. I'm about to pull a video up and like play it while we
What's going on, guys? First of all, nice job making it.
It's the nastiest track ever.
Bro, that wetness, that dude. The thing about, are you there, TC?
Yeah. Is that
okay. Okay, so
that's Spy.
Yeah. So number one of the, if not the next to Nürburgring, one of the longest fucking tracks. So that's what make it. It's not like S10 was on fucking Tsukuba where you fuck up, you know, you go right back around. This shit's like 4 minutes long, And if you get all the way to the fucking end and you that fucking last chicane, like what I didn't mess up there, all my mess ups was the first 6 corners. I couldn't get past that shit. And then I did one full lap. I got like 450, and I'm like, all right, I know. So and I had a ghost, so I knew if I stayed in front of the ghost and keep him in the back, and then on my next complete lap, I passed it with a bronze, but it took me fucking like 20 tries to get that shit, man. I'm like, dude, this shit. But if you look at it, what is that track? What it was simulating for the guys who don't? The track was simulating was a track that's drying while you're running. So if you look at the line, it's essentially stay in the middle of the line. Don't go on the outsides, because if you go on the outsides of that car, you're fucked. As you go, you guys see the video in the background there. Look at the edges of the track and everything. So this guy's doing a full breakdown and everything.
Yeah, it was. So my thing is, when I got on it, my problem was I have everything gold. Every single license is gold. And so I came through here like, no problem. Spa's one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah.
I'm going to go nuts. Now,
Yo, Lex, you there? My bad. Sometimes you Trigger and TC, you there? Hey, one second, guys. It timed out.
Failed.
Oh, there we go. There we got you.
So that joint said, fail, try again. I'm like, what even just happened? Because it didn't compute to me. Because it's not coming down. It's not raining on the car. There was nothing indicating that. But something in the corner of my eye on the next run, I noticed the surface meter. It's high when you're in the groove. When you go into the wet, that meter goes quickly. It'll go from dry to.
I didn't check the meter.
Yeah, I haven't seen that meter.
If you do it, look at the meter and just drive in the water. That meter will go shoot to full wet. So then I said, yo, wait, what the fuck? Because once I went down the hill, then I could see the line because it was in the sun. I'm like, oh, now me on Spa, I've always driven it in the dry. Assetto Corsa, Project Cars, the older Gran Turismos. I hit that bottom of the hill hella aggressive, flat out. Maybe throw a downshift as we come up the hill to hold some grip and stay flat out. Man, I tried to hit that shit.
Yeah.
And if you've ever hit painted lines in real life, Lord have mercy, that shit was over.
Yeah, it was gone. Like you're gone. Like, and that's when I seen that, because I seen the track. I seen right away it was wet, but I didn't grasp the concept that they're trying to do is prepare you for racing on the track that's drying on the racing line. So when I seen it, what happened was when on that first corner it pans out, and I'm like, oh shit, it's dry in the middle. It's wet, dry, wet. So like see, so actually like if you just stayed in the middle of the thing, like that's the line that you need to run. And I was like, oh, so stay in the middle. Don't where it dries up, kind of take that use the width of the track and everything, like that just one straightaway where he's at right there. I kept fucking that up too. Like I would get there and then get right to the edge, and then you got a trail break for like ever. You got a trail break for like 80 fucking miles. Almost, man. Yeah, man. So, and TC was here. TC just listening, man. So you haven't played it yet, right?
No, I don't. I'm gonna go play it this Sunday when I get back home.
Man,
but
you just been watching all the spoilers, man.
Yeah, I've been. I've been just watching watching other guys play it, and to be honest, it looks better than I even imagined. And
of course, man. I'm honest. I mean, it's kind of like when you hear certain people's, that the lyrics might be fucked, but the beat's gonna be tight. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah. But I just, I didn't want to look at the license test yet. But after hearing you guys talk about it, man, it's like, shit.
It's only S10. It's only S10.
Yeah, it's super. So when you run through, it's the original number series license test. Everything that you could think of, basically what we got in sport with track experience, when you went to go do segments, it's our original license test that we've always had. But when you go to super, it's all full laps of everything, but just like flat out, like the first one. Welcome to Super, a Lamborghini fucking SV going speed ring, and I wasn't even tripping because that was the fastest I had gone on the game yet.
Yeah,
like you don't even.
Yeah, it's like right into it.
The sense of speed, because the sense of speed is way fucking higher than all the previous Gran Turismos. And then when I looked, I said, "Oh, it's doing 196 miles an hour in a corner." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." But also, before we get into that, how do y'all like the interior camera changes?
Oh yeah.
Wobble 1 and 2.
The wobble, I had it on wobble 1 like for pretty much the first like 2 days. Then I changed to wobble 2, and wobble 2 just it kind of it stills it down. And I noticed one of them like kind of one, I forget which one it is, but it if you're like on a bank, it kind of simulates the car being the angle, the tilt and everything. Yeah. So what it is in a nutshell, the guys that are really having an issue with it is the ones on the controller. Because on a wheel, we're not going left, right, or analog or whatever. So it moves accordingly. So when you're on a D-pad and you're going left, right, that shit's like the wheel is going like this, and then the car is going like that. So
to a big gripe, like I know that I've always had with Gran Turismo, because I drive in the interior.
Yeah.
The framing of all of your interior is there. You get a little bit of vibration if you go over rumble strips.
Right.
That's it. You might get a little shaking, but that's really it.
Right.
You have wobble 1. Wobble 1, you get a lot of vibration and you get a little bit of side-to-side movement, a little bit of up and down movement on braking. When you go wobble 2, you got the fucking brake does you go over rumble strips and the whole thing, but it's simulating your eyes staying locked in as they really do when you're driving. But the world around you is moving around you. So wobble 1 and wobble 2 cleaned up the interior experience because now it's not so isolated in the interior.
Right.
Like you hear sounds, but everything's so stationary and so clinical, it didn't have a sense of speed. Now you got the sense of speed. When you're going over a turn like 100-something miles an hour and you hit that inner curbing and the car goes boom, 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 you know that car is tipping and you can sense the G-force of the driver. So that definitely added to the experience. Not only did the change in sounds that are phenomenal, the changes aided to everything that we were missing.
Yeah, because speaking on the sounds, when this track in particular, I still running in the background there. I have a 7.1 setup, and like, dude, I went over the puddle. I hit the puddle with my back left tire, and the left back speaker is the one that made the noise. Not all the channels. So it's like, so that's what Casanori was saying. Like, if you don't have a setup, it's better to actually play the games with headphones because you're gonna miss out on everything. If you got like if you don't select like your 7.1, 5.1, and Dolby whatever output, like it's critical to have that. And also, if your TV, what I do is I run a optical out to fiber whatever. So that's the highest quality of the audio. And also, if you got a good TV with your center speaker, if you turn it up halfway, it's a nice double effect for this, because the sound is, I mean, everybody's complaining about the sounds for years, but I'm like, it's just like the controls. Like, if you're trying to fucking listen to the game on a pair of old ass 1980 headphones, it's like, nah, dude, you're defeating the purpose. So your sound, your TV, your steering, everything has to be on point. And then when a VR comes out, you know what I mean, you got to have all that shit on point to get the immersion, man. Like, you got to have it all. So, you know what I mean? That's what I don't get, man. I was driving a Camaro like full speed, no spinning out. I was driving S13 full speed, no spinning out. Of course, you do spin, but a lot of the gripes, I'm like, bro, you guys just, I'm not the fastest driver, but I'm technical with it. I can look at the lines and I know where to cut under. I know how to set up stuff for the next corner, and the AI is smarter, man. So you're not gonna just be able to load up the PP and then fucking run. It don't work no more because I tried.
So Caesar, since you're close to playing,
yeah.
What is it? What's the first car that you're gonna buy? Like, what are you seeing?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I'm normally a Mitsubishi man, and I like to.
Hey, the GTO's good, man. It's really good.
But I've always been a GTO person. You can ask Donnie. I love.
He does.
I'm a huge GTO fan. I do own a Lancer Evo 7. So, but if it was up to me, I wanna try probably either a Lancer Evo 6 if they have it.
Yeah, it'll be in the used car lot. The first car, one of the first cars in there.
Yeah.
That and probably a FD. Probably R7 FD.
Yeah, an FD you can go and buy pretty much. You could FD's in the brand central or just the
like 2001 and up.
Yeah, so we got that in there. R6 there, and then so the used car lot. You just gotta check that every time you go in the lobby because it changes. I got a lot of cars. The collection. All right, so speaking on that, man, because you just asked a question on that, Lex. What do you guys think? Because the guys that played it, Detrick and Lexer, man, the collection thing do you think the collection thing offsets the amount of money they give? Because you're going to get cars for free, like every 3 cars.
He's into something else I wanted to talk about too. But we'll deal with that. The collection. Trigger, what was your first set of cars? What did you buy?
It was my S13.
Mm-hmm.
I paid for. My GTR, my GR3 GTR, and another car that I freaking buy. Oh, the Porsche 911.
Porsche 911. Okay.
Yeah.
Curtis just texted. He's not even on the pod, but he's talking about something that's very funny. The reward tickets.
That shit's like that reward ticket's like fucking Salvation Army, like some
fucking rig.
Yeah, motherfucker, like you do like a 20 lap race on Nürburgring and they give you like a $5,000 and shit. Like, cool, man. That's pretty much what it is, man. And like you see those big ass you can see the big ass stacks of coins and it like goes around like, all right, I get this little like you get the it's TC, you're gonna see that shit. That shit's funny. It's like, but
when I read the review, that was one of the biggest complaints was the reward system because everybody kept saying they keep getting this small amount of money. I'm like, wait a minute now, why would I even? What's the need of even racing like that if I'm gonna get some little chump change? You know.
Right. So this is what they've done on this one. That's way different than all the other ones.
Microtransactions.
We got after we passed Sunday Cup and then Clubman.
Right.
Then we wanted to get $30,000, $60,000, $100,000 payouts.
Right.
On the older Gran Turismos. This one is not like that. The cars are actually priced. If you were to look in Auto Trader, Auto Tempest, Craigslist, anything like that, Yahoo Auctions, and you see a price of a car, if you go on Gran Turismo, it's going to be very similar. It's going to be like really close. Matter of fact, the legendary cars, when you go to the legendary cars, they are actually ran by Haggerty.
Yeah.
Actual Haggerty company.
Oh. Yeah. They.
So when you go in there and say, ooh, for all the people, spoiler alert, for all of the people that cannot wait to buy a Ferrari F50, and you, I need an F50 right now.
Come up with that something.
$3 to go get that F50. When you went and checked, and that F50 was $3 million, but you didn't notice the blue arrow going up. When you grind the price is going up.
Yeah.
If you didn't buy it in there, it's gonna be a different price when you come back. And
that Porsche, I want to say Cayman that they gave you a special price on, bro.
Yeah, that's your special price for that day. If you don't buy it, the price changes.
Yeah, it goes up.
And And if you went and spent all that time to get $3 million because money doesn't come easy, and you bought that F50, spoiler alert again, you're gonna get the F50 for free.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you have to. Patience is key in this game.
Yeah.
I know. I wanna chill out.
Yep.
Like chill out.
It literally comes to you because it already happened to me 6 times when you buy like what I did when I went to the used car lot. I had some money and I just bought because I didn't have I got the FC on my other one. I just installed. I was like, fuck, I wanted FC on my main one, so I bought the FC like after I did a few races. But I was buying stuff that I had money for, and then I didn't know about the blue book. I didn't put that correlation there, so they're all collector items. So you're gonna get it eventually somewhere in the game. You just gotta like chill and everything and play the course. And
the option too, which is amazing, that used car list cycles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say you see the car and you're like, damn, I want it, but I'm gonna be smart with my money. Add it to your wish list. Check that box. Because if that car cycles out, when you go, say you're moving around on the screen, going to GT Auto, doing whatever, right?
Right.
But you look at that icon on the used car lot and it has a flag on it, your car's there. If you got the money, go back over there. The car's back for sale. Or another one similar is there for sale. Plus, the other part about it is you may not buy the first used car that you saw. It might be a good idea because the mileage might be high. The next one that comes in, it might be a lower mileage. It might be better chassis because it's back to having to repair the chassis, having to replace the engine, having to do your oil changes. So what they've done with this game is they've made it sick. It's really sick, but you have to be patient with it. Get your bread because like I was just showing Donnie, we were playing earlier, my cars are not full modded. My quick-ass little cars, stock turbo, stock engines, stock transmission. All I do is clutch, full exhaust, and if it's a turbo, the exhaust manifold and intercooler. That's how fast they are. They're like really fast. It's no longer like if you got a 350 horsepower RX-7, it feels slow. That shit is fast, dude. And it books like they move out. And
bro, really like when we was driving the Integras the other day.
Yeah, bro. I'm about to build. I got some chain. I'm about to actually build a nasty Integra and take that shit on the thing and just rape people online because they disrespect front wheel drive cars a lot, man. I'm like, bro, they can get it done, man.
That's why Lex booging around and I had the hatchback Civic.
Oh yeah, I got the EK2, man. Yeah, trust me, I know, man. I'm building an EF and I got a DC5, an EF, and I got an EG at my shop right now, and they're getting H22, K-Sun, blah blah blah, whatever. So the front wheel drive, man. People, this is one of my ideas, man. There's so much stuff I want to talk about. We can hit what we can hit, and if you guys got stuff, just bring it up. I've noticed personally. I noticed they set the cars up. They've sabotaged the cars on purpose to make them handle like shit. And when you go back in there and change to it, like some of the cars got some weird settings. If you look into it, they got weird. Like I've seen some front rake, reverse rake. I've seen some different things. And if you go in there and just settle it, it's a different car, man. So like a lot of these guys are wanting to get a car out the dealership and then go straight to the track. And then like, my bro, you got to set the camber. And if you notice, like if you set the camber, that's PP. Your PP goes up. That means it's better.
Oh, that is yeah. So you got a car. Let's just say the 5.
Your height and all that shit. If you set the height fucked up, it's going to go down.
Did you notice? If you set your car up 550 Clubman, you went from the garage. You said, "Oh, this is a 545 PP car."
Right.
Then you said, "You know what? But it is stock height. I forgot to set the suspension up."
Mm-hmm.
You start with the suspension.
Yep.
If you lower the front, your PP goes up.
Mm-hmm.
If you lower the back, that's kind of a freebie because all your arrow is started on the front. But then if you start to lower the back a little bit more, your PP will go up again. So you mess with the PP, that goes up. You get your diff in the sweet spot, your PP will go up. By the time you're done messing with that, you aren't paying attention. Your car don't qualify anymore.
Yep. Because I did it.
Yep.
My shit was 549. I was like, all right, cool. Let me go in here. And I looked. That shit was like 576. I'm like, what the fuck? So,
what happened?
But that's the cheat right there. Is showing. Go ahead, D.
That measure button is what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta hit that.
And so that's cool. They have the measure.
But that's normally how. I mean, but I don't know about you guys, but no, that's the first thing I do when I buy a car, new or used, is I'm going straight to GT. Like I used to go to GT Auto, and I used to get in. It's like I know that's the first thing for me because that's just how I follow my philosophy for real. Is I go suspension, tires, and all that before I even get to the power.
Right.
Because
what we're saying, TC, is because you didn't play it yet. You'll see the tuning. Your tuning is making the car better. So the tuning is going like before it didn't. I don't think it did that in sport. I don't think it. I don't recall.
That just power and
right.
weight didn't even.
Right.
Yeah.
So anything that you make better, like because of course if you're doing time attack, the increasing camera is going to allow better cornering. And I took a picture of what I want to put up. It shows it looks like a real drift car when you go around the corner. Outside wheel, inside wheel has that little bit of contact patch, and you see I'm like, bro, this is the shit that everybody, and this is why I do comment on the stuff. They're looking past all these little details that they're not seeing for the macro shit. The macro easy shit that is easy. Oh, well, you can't swap engine to everything, or you can't do this, and blah, blah, blah. The little detail shit, like the toll road gate having a price on it, on Tokyo, like that little shit, that little detail is what, when I see it, I'm like, man, this is some fucking, it's dude. Yeah. Whatever.
So I have gone through this whole game, unless something in the menu that he told me go do this to it, because those are menu items that you have to. Those are completing a level per se.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Stock. I don't do anything to them besides suspension and make them look cool, and then I drive them. I keep the stock tires on them, whatever tires they came with. Now because the AI is cut. Yeah. The AI is not a pushover. You are not going to go and say, I'm going to do this. There's going to be somebody doing shit over here. Get to the back of the line, and I'll holla at you because they are fast as shit. They modify their cars, and it's not all of them. Like, you know how you used to go into Gran Turismo, and all of the cars are just hella fast. Project Cars did that. If you turn the AI up to 83%, at 82%, they're fast. At 83%, they all modify their cars to the track to be the fastest. And then when you go up higher, the faster and more unbeatable they are. This is like you went to an actual clubman race. You went to an actual track day with all like super aggressive semi-pro dudes.
Yeah, and I showed up with a fucking. I got my ass around like there. I mean, I'm talking about there was regular. It was MR2. There was a BMW, and one thing they all had wings. They all had cages. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like,
some dude.
Yeah.
Shit on it.
So I'm like, man, this. And then, dude, I'm in a car that's like, it's on the level, but I'm hitting the points and everything, and I'm just falling back. I'm like, bro, this shit's different, man. Then when you get up there, they ain't no like you don't get up there and pull away. They're on your ass. Like I won last night. I crossed the line. The dude was behind me like point 7 something seconds, dude, behind me.
Dude, they were sticking their nose right in my peripheral.
Dude, TC is dope, dude. Watch, man, it's dope.
In the braking zone on the outside. So I had to like, oh shit, I don't have any play because they're pushing down right on my nose.
Right.
Or they'll run inside of you and try to beat you in the brake zone. It's no longer like they come up and it are whatever.
Have you seen any? Last night I experienced the AI. He outbreak me because I thought I was gonna outbreak him.
Yep. There's no longer they just break at a predestined spot.
Yeah. I was banking on no. This motherfucker he broke deeper than I did. I was like, wow.
I saw the AI hit the brakes, and as I was coming to beat him in the brake, he let off the brakes, came in, pinched the line, and got on the brakes again, like back the fuck up. And I'm like, that makes it feel like you're playing
other people. Yeah, I haven't had that much fun playing the computer. I never had fun playing the computer because you basically mount the car up. The biggest thing back in the day, I remember all right, this is kind of going way back. The one race I couldn't beat was the what's the not Monza, but the Italy track where it goes up into the town, and it's the famous track. The boats are out there and everything.
Was that?
Yeah,
was on part 4.
Yeah, Coach Stay, whatever, right? So that was the first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the first time I ever had to like really tune was the Coast Azure or whatever, and it was the IndyCar joint, and I could not beat this shit. And I'm talking about I did it 50 times. I could not beat it, and I kept coming in last. It starts you out last. You got to work your way up through all. They're all IndyCars, so they're all fast. It was a gearing. That was the first time I had to what it was. I had to make my ratio closer to go faster. And they start you out with a stock ratio, and you basically, if you keep that stock ratio, you're not going to beat this thing. You probably remember, of course, you played the challenge, Lex, but it's a IndyCar joint, and you got to lower your you have to lower your ratio to win. So like again with this stuff, man, like what they're showing you, you can't go to Fuji on Tsukuba settings, and that's what a lot of these new.
That's actually very important to say.
That's why they got the sheet. That's why they got the sheets. The sheets are there for a reason.
To make different sheets. It's very easy to make different sheets.
Right.
And you can say, in your head, you can say, yo, this feels great. I'm going to drive on that. But when you go to the track and you're like, fuck, this doesn't work. You make those changes and you hit the measure button. The measure button is going to show you the difference between your two. Which one shines in which places. And you can jump back and forth. It's no longer go change this. Right. Oh, now this thing goes and I got to take a picture of it so I can go compare it. No, it literally jump back and forth.
Dude, so let me ask you guys, man, all you guys, man, can answer your own kind of way. Back before they had sheets, man, what did you used to do? Like if you had a car, R32, whatever, and you don't want to keep changing and everything, what was our option back in the day for that? Did they have multiple?
Go back, redo everything.
No, I would have multiple cars, the same car with different settings. That's what I would do back in the day. So now, like these cats are not even taking advantage of. Like they complaining so much about dumb shit. And this is guys who taking a break from 4. I've seen a lot of people. I ain't played since 4. So you missed 5. You missed HD. You missed GT. You missed a lot of advances, and you're talking about what GT7 ain't doing. I'm like, bro, you haven't been there. You've been like a dad that's gone and trying to get back in the game. Like, hey man, do it. Like, bitch, you've been gone my whole life. You can't. How the fuck you gonna tell me what to do? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's all these guys, man. Like I see a lot of the Forza guys coming back, and the comparisons. I'm like, bro, this is not Assetto. This is not Project Cars. This is not real R Factor. It's not Live for Speed. It's Gran Turismo, and like. Play it for play it for what it is, and I'm like, dude, personally, man, I like the handling. I like the fact that everybody can drive it. That's cool to me.
Yeah, I did like you. I would have 4 or 5 different cars, would all be different colors that I knew might have. White cars were this, black cars were, gray cars were this. So I've always had low horsepower, high grit cars. I've always had balanced cars, and I've always had cars that were just on the edge of undrivable, but like fast. Then what I also used to do is write down tunes on a piece of paper. And like a ton of different little tunes or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is cool. The sheets is cool.
And by the way, guys, this Sheets was back on. I think Sheets was GT5.
GT5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not new. Yeah.
But I also know that this game, cars aren't that easy to come by. Like, I only saw the FC once, bought it instantly. I haven't seen another one. So it's not like, oh, let me just go to the Brand Central and buy 4 of them. I only got one. That's my only one. And when I got it, the engine was worn out, the chassis was worn out, and the oil was dirty. It only had 175 horsepower when I bought it. So I had to go rebuild the engine, which they have the whole animation for. I had to go redo the chassis. I had to go freshen that car all the way up. All you people that like to crash and ride walls, have y'all noticed?
Yeah.
Trigger, have you noticed when you crash, pieces fly off?
Yep.
The animation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Cars up.
Yeah, and the paint, the dents, all that stuff, man, is there.
Yeah. And blasted a GTR trying to do this test, and I saw fragments everywhere. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck was that?"
The first time I seen that shit, I'm like, "What the fuck's?" I thought my screen. I thought something was wrong with my TV because it like flies up in these little chunks. They're like, I mean, it's predetermined, but like the damage is there, but they just not gonna allow the whole like fucking front bumpers hanging off and shit like that. But I mean, it's there, man. If you look at the car if you do some wall rides on the Tokyo joint, which everybody does, your fenders be bent in, your lips be all cracked up and shit, and like the headlights be busted. So like the damage is there. It's just not. It's not the over the top. You know what I mean?
Which everybody wants to go.
Now,
go ahead.
No, I was saying to Donnie, to answer your question earlier, how I was putting things with as far as like the sheets and stuff is I would have certain cars for certain classes for certain events. So it wouldn't just be, okay, I'm driving a JDM car or it's all JDM. Sometimes just if I knew I had to drive a certain car, it's like, okay, it's this track, but I need to use an American car or a European car. And then out of those, then I would just prioritize the one that was that didn't have like a limit on cars.
Right.
I would just roll from there. And depending on what that vehicle was, I would just leave those settings there, probably like 2 at most per car. And I had them race on certain courses and those courses only.
Right. So check it out like right now because you guys can see the video. Like I don't know, can you guys see the video or only Lexis see the video that guy running in the...
Yeah, it's in the corner of building the Supra.
Yeah, so you got TC and Detrick, you guys can see me?
The way my screen, I'm on the phone, so I see a little bit of the YouTube you have, and I see half of you.
That's weird, man. It's like you guys can see me, but I can't see you. But anyway, what I'm saying right here is that we got running in the background is one of the kind of his videos are quality, but he's a little bit too eccentric for me. But the library shit, man, I can't time wise I can't spend. I'm in and out of there, man. Like I don't spend more than 10 minutes on no car because I don't so have that kind of time. I just want to race and get to it and everything. So I'll lower it, change the color, and I'm out of there, man. So as far as the library, man, editor, man, how much time are you guys putting in there for the editing stuff, or you just downloading other stuff that's already there?
0. I haven't messed with that yet.
Yeah,
I told my son play with it. Yeah, my son played with it for a second, but
some people get stuck in there, man.
Yeah, I mean, but that's cool.
Yeah,
It
is.
The way your cars look, it's been expanded because you can go in there. They have, remember we used to look for the best looking carbon fiber overlay or...
No, it's already there.
You can go buy specific weave, patch, thick ones. You can buy forged carbon fiber. So these are all paints. Now what you do is you have to lay the whole body and then you go and cover it up with the paint. So the ones that are exposed, hood, wing, roof, lips, those will show because that's your natural base paint now. And it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, which probably that S13 I had was all carbon.
Dude, that Corolla I was driving was all carbon.
Yeah.
So it looks really spot on. So when you start building these Lamborghinis and you just want just the deck lid around the window to be forged carbon fiber, very easy to do. You don't have to sit here and take, because that used to take a lot of time. Let me place this carbon fiber perfectly. Oh, it only goes over this side. Let me double the layer and mirror it on the other.
Stretch it. It looks dumb.
Yeah. You lose the integrity of the weave. Nope. Whole car is in that carbon fiber layer now, and it looks like it's an immaculate carbon fiber car.
Right.
And then you just layer your pieces over it. So how they break it up is full body, body 2, which is going to be your hood. You got other, wing, wheels, and there was some other little shit. But you could break it up in many different ways to make that happen. But I haven't spent a lot of time in it just yet.
Yeah, because that's like something you get to like after. Because right now, like the main thing is the missions and doing all that. Yeah, get all that stuff.
And the cage can get painted. Because the coolest thing about GT5 when you used to drive Nomokin's R34, the cage was painted psychedelic colors. He had a fiberglass and carbon fiber dash that looked amazing. He had the gauges, so you always wanted to drive that car on the inside. Well, now we're getting to the point. We've got our cages that we can color any color we want. You could really make these cars yours. The Y body, I'm obsessed with Y bodies. Everything gets Y bodies.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's so Leticia. Like that's one. It's like one of those things. Like remember back in the days, the old changes that don't. I tried it. It doesn't work. But if you buy the car, that what they do, you gotta buy the engine. You gotta buy the engine now, and then also if the oil's dirty, it'll say so. It says oil excellent, body excellent. So it tells you the condition of the car, and so you don't have to go in. As soon as you buy a used car and get a rigidity, you don't gotta do all that stuff. So it's all there. They give you the tools and they say a lot without saying everything. So I like that they put it like that, because what is going to happen if it comes down to competition stuff online, blah blah blah. What it's going to be is the person that applies everything that they give you the best. They're going to have the best results. Not only being naturally fast, but again, if you can't. If it's a front-wheel drive group and you focus only on rear-wheel drive tuning or RR, MR, you're not going to have skills. So it's going to force you to learn all, when you lift off throttle on a full-wheel drive, you lift off throttle on a rear-wheel drive, they all act different. And you go over that crest on Trial Mountain, and if you lift off there, the MRS is going to do this. The Civic's going to do that. GTR is going to do this if you got the bias set as 40, 60, or 20, whatever. So it's the tuning is definitely stepped up, man. And I've played with a bunch of stuff, and yeah, man, it's definitely there. It's on point. And what we're getting at too, man, it's like we're all guys that drive cars in real life. All us here. So when I see a dude online talking, I'm like, bro, you drive like a Daewoo and shit. Like, relax. Like, you don't know what the fucking that evil feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like, this
guys talking about the drift. No, it doesn't feel real. How you know? Well, it doesn't feel like a Sono Corsa.
It is not easy. That's what it is. Just say it's not easy.
Right. Or it doesn't make sense to them. That's
I got a question.
Yep.
I got a question for you. I got a question for you guys. Now, since you all played it so far, is there car? Do you guys have a certain car you're looking forward to driving that you haven't driven yet?
Okay.
Let me just.
Yeah. Go ahead. My bad.
I said, just tell me which car and a little bit of why.
Okay, so I've got a good variety of cars, right? I have my real life cars, which I drive a ton, and I'm having a blast experiencing those. The sounds have made this shit great. The way that the games drive, how realistic it is. I've done a side-by-side with my real self going through Laguna Seca with my game self going through Laguna Seca. Same elements, same fog, same cloudy day, amazing. So I got past that. Then it's like, oh, let's drive a Corolla. Oh, let's drive this. Now, this was way left field because I got my Maserati. I drove that. It's great. I got a Viper because this is touching on, like you were saying, you get American cars or JDM cars or whatever. The menus at the cafe, they set forth the menu Hey, you did great on the other one. Now let's do Italian cars. Hey, you have fun with the Italian cars. It's German time. Hey, later for all that shit. Go grab you a good old American car and bring it back over here, and let's get you entering this Pan-American race. So they're going to span you across all the continents, right? So when it came to the Pan-American race, I'm like, what do I want to drive? I don't want to drive the Corvette. I want one. I want to buy one, but you get one in the prize list.
Yeah,
so
that's what
I don't want to waste my money because this money's valuable. And then, Camaro's too slow. I already got a Mustang GT350 because I absolutely love the 350R, so I already bought that, but you don't get that as a prize anywhere. And the GT350R is technically slow. If you got the ZL1 Camaro on track, it's beating the shit out of that GT350R. So I said, okay, I'm going to go get a Viper. So I got a 3rd or 4th gen Viper. That car is so goddamn amazing. It sounds amazing. It drives amazing. And the fact that, like I said, I'm keeping everything stock engines, all I do is the intake and the exhaust. The sounds that you get in that cabin, it just you can't wait for it to hit $6,000. It's like, ooh, come on, it's coming. And then it just, and it hits $6,000 and it sounds epic. But you know that torque is the side effect. So if you're going through the corner and you hit $6,000, that motherfucker might turn into a whirly bird, right?
Yeah, quick.
All right. So then that car made me say, that was great. So now, since those sounds are so good, I can't wait to get to the Italian cars. Now, I jumped the gun and I bought a F430 because I love that car. I saw it. I was like, let me get it real quick.
Yeah.
That car is amazing. Again, amazing, right? But you get to drive a Ferrari F50 in the super license test. And boy, if that ain't hanging a carrot in front of you, because what Gran Turismo Sport didn't do and the previous games didn't do with these Ferraris, they were hella fast straight line. These fucking cars drive good now. They quarter great. I think I went through the test one time and I beat the gold so bad because I was so tapped in, like, oh shit, this sounds great. Like, oh shit, the pedal, when you really hit it, it's not like explosion of power. It's like, and the thing that you're hearing is the power that's getting put down, and you can feel the grip. And so now I'm like, oh, I just got to drive everything. So to answer your question precisely, I can't wait to drive the C7 ZR1. I can't wait to drive the Porsche Carrera GT. I can't wait to drive the Ferrari. Oh, we did get to drive the Ferrari Testarossa, but I want that. Like, give me that. I want that. I want to put exhaust on it because I want to hear that flat 12, like, get to scream in a certain way. And I can't wait to drive a SW20 MR2 because the turbo sound and that engine tone, because that's only going to pop up in the used car lot, and I haven't seen one yet.
I've only raced one, but it was pretty damn quick.
Yeah, you raced it, but it's quick. But like the ST205 Celica I was using, that's why, because it has the same engine in that.
Oh, did you put the active center diff on it?
No. That's why it oversteers the way it does.
Yeah. So
just fucking taps over. But I'm going to end that right there, and I want to drive the AMG GTR Pro 2, GG3, whatever the fuck all the names that thing has. Drive that. Yeah. So this game has made it. It's made me like, no, I need to drive that car stock. Like, I got to experience it stock. Because you'll trip out. Wait until you get on it. You're going to trip out because you're going to be driving the car, and then you're going to look at the tires and say, that shit's on comfort mediums.
Yeah.
And it drives than a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Hell,
I didn't feel like it didn't have grip. You know what I mean? Like right, Trig. Like you're gonna get on a couple of cars and look at the tires and be like, nah, comfort soft feel like this.
Yeah, bro. The tire models are totally different this time around. Like you can literally run a circuit race of 5 laps on sport mediums and be solid.
Yeah. I don't. You know, I only have sport tires on my cars. I don't even have race tires on my cars.
Yeah, sport soft is the highest I've went.
And it feels like a race tire.
Yeah.
Nasty.
So y'all, it seems like you guys have it. It feels a lot better than it did in the previous games.
It's definitely, without a doubt, it's just one of those things where, again, man, if you look at the forums, man, if you look at the forums alone, you would think this is another Cyberpunk, whatever the fuck that game was, where they got sued and shit. This is not that, man. And then, like, they're already doing server maintenance, which means we're going to get an update in, like, the next 24 hours probably. Already, and it's like it's so intuitive. As far as if you look at the game at the bottom, it tells you they're tracking live. We got 5 known issues. I'm talking about there's a bulletin down in the fucking thing.
Yes, there's an information tab at the bottom,
and it updates. And it
says issues as of March such and such, and it'll tell you the issues that it had.
They track it, man.
But it'll say it like when you go on there, it'll say, "Hey, you just had an online race versus so and so. You won." It's like it gives you all the information from other people that may have experienced something, telling you what they're gonna address later. It's like it's dope. What's really unique about this whole thing?
Oh, you got like an air right there. I didn't see that. Oh,
always saying Gran Turismo is a simcade, right? Simcade. The sim guys are like, no, it's an arcade game. The guys are no, it's a sim. But when you jump on it, it's indisputable at this point now. They did, like, I've been on Assetto Corsa. I stopped playing sport a little bit later last year. And I've just been on Assetto Corsa purely because they had certain tracks I like, certain elements, and I like the day to night change. I like the element change.
Right.
And that's the sim, right? Bro, Gran Turismo shot it at its foot, made it kneel down to tend to his foot, and then it shot it in his head. This game is like, it's sim that now has the collecting element of it. Makes it very important to collect them. Gives the fun. This is the first time, and let me know if I'm wrong, that I've seen YouTubers, the game playing community and the sim racing community both come together and say, you know what, this game is the shit.
Yeah.
Because all the speed boys that like to build cars and they're only in it to make nitrous and shit,
you could do good.
Colors and underglow, they're having just as much fun on this as they were on Need for Speed. And then I'm a sim boy, they're on there having just as much fun. And I find the little things that I didn't know that I was going to like Donnie, did you hear me revving the shit out that RX-7?
Yeah.
While I was revving it?
Yeah.
Did you hear the anti-lag?
Yeah, I can hear it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I heard that popping.
Yeah, if you put it in neutral, it does a different rev. It does the regular Gran Turismo. Din, 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 din. If you put it in gear, put it in the clutch, it'll go.
Yeah.
And you let off, and it does driving. When you let off, that motherfucker will be.
The dynamic changed too, because I was used mine for the first time on R34, and it started out like it looked like it was dark to light, and I didn't recognize. Then like when that shit, it goes from like midday to like lights, and I was on a Trial Mountain. I was like, oh shit, it's full up nighttime, lights on and shit. and the dark spots happen, and I'm like, oh fuck, man, like you going fast, and then you can't see the apex until your lights hit it, and it's like it's not lit up. If your light's not on that area, you can't see it unless you got other people. It's bro, they got the dynamics there, the Trial Mountain, and of course what's the other?
Tunnels.
Yeah.
When the dark tunnels, it does the light adjusting of your eye.
Yeah.
Thing. You can't see through the tunnel. You got to really look through it.
This is dope right there, man. Like these little interludes into when you go to the track for the first time, like the
the cafe to go ahead.
Well, no. When you do the cafe thing and go Trick.
Cafe to high ring.
So there's a new circuit that just popped up for me. It is the Trial Mountain circuits.
Yes, sir.
That intro to that, amazing, bro.
Yeah. There's gonna be more
movies. Yeah, all these opening movies, they're gonna be dope, and you actually find out where these tracks are now.
Right.
But it's not like Trial Mountain. We never knew where Trial Mountain was. Now we know. We never knew where Deep Forest was. Now we actually know where in the world this track is based, and then you get to see around that track, around that element.
Man, if I had Elon Musk money, I would make these fucking tracks in reality, man. That's the shit I would do with that type of money. Like, let's build fucking Auto Ring Mini somewhere.
Hey, so have you noticed the tire indicators, right?
Yeah.
You remember when you used to burn rubber on them, the outer ring would just glow red.
Right.
Did you notice now, if you're cornering hella hard on it, depending on what your alignment is in your camber, you'll see the outer edge of the tire go hot.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah. Like look at the driving. If you got the tire up there, notice when he turns, you're gonna see the tire, the indicator. It's either, if you're braking hard, it'll go from the front to the back. If you're accelerating, you go from the back to the front.
You see that real quick, man? That's why I got these That's why I got these running in the background, so we see things and cues. You could tell right there that whoever that person is driving, and they're using either they're using a loose wheel or a controller. They keep going like this. They're trying to simulate stuff. So I've done the test like last night. Oh, my bad, Lexis, like cutting off. What you saying?
Yeah, you can see that little over the RPM shift light. You see that little that going back and forth. Yeah.
So last night, man, I went in. I didn't notice this. I finished I got the GTR or whatever, and then I didn't notice there was like a meeting area. So I didn't see that pop up before. So I don't know if that was new. So at TC, if you click on the meeting area, you can have a meeting right inside the track you're in. So if you just got finished racing, you want to do some more laps, you click meeting area, and it sets up an instant room, an instant lobby, and
people are already there.
Yeah, they're already there. Out. It's like 6. So I went on there, and then I went around a lap, and dudes in there with shifter carts and all types of shit, right? And I go around there, and I was like, let me try the because I haven't played GT with a controller since Gran Turismo 3. Like, it's been literally like, so I was like, let me do a lap. Dude, I couldn't fucking make a lap. Like, I could do it, but it was like, nah, bro, this was not, no. It was just, I'm like, I can't even remember being decently fast with a controller now that I got my wheel, and I can heel toe downshift. I can let the clutch out. And when you let the clutch out, it actually slows down mechanically. They simulated that, TC. So when you're doing a braking test, I actually got the best time by putting in second and first, and then like letting the clutch out, and it slows down in conjunction with the brakes. So if you, of course, keep the clutch in, of course you're not letting the transmission engage. So it's real like that. So when you go to downshift, you rev mesh downshift, you got to let the clutch out, and it'll slow you down. Like they really simulated this. And again, this is where me and Lex and other guys alike can go on these forums and just pretty much bully people because we've done this. Lex can put his video out there, and then nobody says nothing about his video. They can't say anything bad about it, and they don't want to give him his props, so they just don't say nothing. I'm like, and that's where people at with the social media shit. If it ain't fuckboy shit, you know what I mean, they're gonna leave you alone. But if it's some fuckboy shit, they're gonna be like, oh man, why'd you do this? Why you throw a cylinder block on your brand new GTR roof like the dead guy? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
When I back running around in the RX-8, I used to do this a lot, and because my tires were at such a high grip, and my car was never at such a high level of stability and grip, I never really noticed this. So when I first got the track car RX-8, my real car, and I'm going into corners and I'm braking hard but improperly, and then I was downshifting improperly. And what I learned with tracking the motorcycles is you don't need to throw the blip because the engine braking is an asset, right?
Right.
Engine braking is pulling the bike back, the rear back, stretching your wheelbase, and it's already got your back controlled. You just control the front.
Right.
So when I'm getting back in the RX-8, when I was chasing that lap record, it's the same thing. You go into the braking zone, and it's not about throwing the rev match. It's about getting the downshift proper enough that it pulls the engine braking. And since your tires are grippy as hell in the back too, it's like, and you're braking the car. Dude, when you do this shit in the game, it's the exact same fucking result. I'm still astonished. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because the kid, if I was my son, right, back in the day when I first started doing this shit, bro, let me get all this driving out the way. So when I go with my real money and hit the track, I got my braking under control. I've got my cornering ideas under control because this shit is so good that the things I was doing, and now I'm trying it on the game to see if did they really put this element? Let me see.
Yeah, it shows right there. Like if you over, like in real life, if you downshift and like you don't time it, now you're essentially you're over revving, and that's not braking. That's not
Far down into the brake zone.
I mean, essentially, because I fucked up one time and I downshift from it was like fifth and I went to like I fucked up real bad. And it was like, and it's like the fucking RPMs are beating the fuck out of the left side of the right side of the screen. And it's like, but you're not slowing down until you gear it down into that proper gear so it can actually come down. So like, that's where, like, in this thing, man, of course I'm busy as fuck running a business, but like playing this game, dude, like to me, it's not a waste of time because half these tracks I can drive on here in Japan. I've been on Tsukuba. You've been to Laguna, and it's like this is like mental exercise, man. So when you go to the track, the hill toe, the downshift hill toe shit, when you get that on point, man, it's the coolest sounding shit ever, dude. And when you had visitors over to my shop, like I'm gonna have, when I showed them I can do heel toe downshift and I match their RPMs like I would do in your car outside, they're like, holy fuck. I'm like, yeah, dude, you got to clutch in, brake, downshift, and you blip it, and it's real quick. It happens so quick, and you go and you don't look at the, like, I know, pretty sure me and Lex and Trigger, TC probably the same. We're not looking at the suggested gear. We're doing what we know we would do. Because you look at the suggested gear, I know that's why Lex is fast, because you're not looking at this. So when I honestly, I don't look at it all the time, but it's sometimes with a track I'm not, like Spa. I'm not a Spa. I know Nürburgring better than I know Spa, if it makes sense. But Spa, so the reason why I did so bad in it is because I didn't get a lot of laps on it, honestly, in the other series. So now I'm on this new game with a fucking fast ass car in a wet. It's not gonna go well for me, man, and that's what happened to me in the S10.
You know what? So just speaking on that, because it's kind of like, the more laps you get to hammer out, the way that they have this game laid out is kind of, you kind of have this idea when you look at the map. It's just like, you got to do something. You're busy. I got here talking about the guy on the cafe. I got to go over here.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Yeah. That's ADHD as shit, man. That's kind of what they got you all over the fucking place.
But you can, you know what? Let me go to the track, then let me go down here to time attack and get some laps in. You can take that break because it's not like the other games. It was a grind. Every time you went out of your garage, went to a race, and then you came out, the day it changed.
Right.
So your car lot had changed. if you didn't go to the lot and check on it, you missed a car. That's how the older ones. This isn't like that. Those cars will sit there for a couple of sessions. The map will go dark. It'll cycle daytime, day night. Cars will still be there, but you can kind of take the time to say, let me go do this and try this and get some drive time in. If you see that there's a track coming up in the menu that you got to race, you ain't too good at it yet, go hammer a couple laps out on it. Take this car that you're going to use. You know the PP that you're going to have to be around. Go get it set and see how, because it could say that the PP's going up and it could show in an upward trend. Your low speed lateral G is up, mid speed lateral G is up, and high speed lateral G is up. And you'll be like, well, technically that should be faster, right? But then you get on the track and the car is snap oversteering and is doing dumb shit because at the limit, it just breaks loose. It doesn't do something gradual, so you get to go spend your time and figure that out. So then when you go do the race, and another thing, Trigger, I don't know if it's made you feel like this. I don't feel pressed to win the race.
No, not at all. That's why my first GR3 race I did, I came in second. I was having fun.
And you just kept going, right? Instead of resetting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I came in dead last 3 times when that first JDTC joint. Like, that Supra was like, it was sound good, but it was like a 1997 GT500, GT300. Bro, I haven't went back since. I got the cars now to actually stay up with them, but it's not the car. You're not going to get a car that's going to make you go to the front of the line. Because I got that Group 3 Subaru, which that car is still my car, dude. If like somebody comes in and they want to hit all the sounds, so I'm like, drive this motherfucker. Trust me. The sounds are, that's not the only car, but that car just sounds so fucking good, man. And the blow-off valve's not all the same. The super blow-off valve got that, the old school Doug Sheep sound. Then the Witchcom got the little the Gretty RS, whatever. They all sound different. Or like that one that sounds like a restrictor on a rally cars, like the little peep peep peep. They get it got those sounds. Like the reason why this shit took so long, man, for the guys who don't know, probably new to the podcast, like, bro, each one of those cars probably took like 2 months to develop, like the wide body, all the situations that they could have, the front lips that's available for the R34 but it's not available for this car, the carbon side skirts for the R34 that are available that's not available in this car, like all that shit's like molded, man. Like it's not they didn't draft anything over from GT, probably some of it, but ported over, but they made all these games, the interiors all redone, like the lighting, all that stuff, man. So again, go ahead.
The fact that certain cars, like the Corolla, has a different type of wide body than
N2.
You can get the RX-8 and say, I wonder how they're gonna do it, but the fenders look like right with the body line is just wider. The Corvette. Oh, I got a ZR1, a C4 ZR1 last night. You put wide body on that, and it just looks just perfect. You go wide body to BRZ, and it has the extra little headlight, the shape and recess.
Yeah,
like
it's not generic. It's basically.
It's not like they just put Rocket Bunny fenders on shit. These are the Integra. It looks like a nice fender roll. It looks like a good fender roll on it. So it's like each and every car it's thought of. You can lose your money if you go put aero on the car and then you go wide body.
Yep.
It takes it off because it's still available to put back on, but it's
just wasted.
Version of at that point. It's a wider setup.
Yep. Yeah, I look at it as a guy that makes money tuning. I don't preach to anybody to do anything. I'm just the installer, the tuner, blah blah blah, and as long as the ethics are cool, I'll work on your car. But there's guys that'll buy shit that don't go left to right. TC actually is a buddy and a customer of mine right now. I got a couple cars here of his, and it's like, nah, man, you want to do this? I'm the guy that should know, hey man, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna go with a, for example, a big single turbo, and then you're looking at buying this OBX ITB kit, like you're, you know what I mean, just example, you're defeating the purpose. So it's like, nah, I'm gonna tell you, hey man, don't buy that because you're gonna take it off anyway. You can't run that with the turbo easily. You can do it, but you got to build a box for it. You got to do all this other dumb shit. And you know, this game is showing guys like there's a procedure to modding. And if you're going to do like a supercharger, why would you buy the mid-range turbo kit? Or you're going to do the, you know, this. Go ahead.
On that though, so like the supercharger. So I leave the car stock and I do all these races. I run the Viper through 4 different races.
Right.
Car, because it's stock, the vitals are perfect. We go to special stage Route X. And it's 1 lap, and I got all the guys, Igor Fraga, all these dudes, they're in the front, and you got to catch them. And I'm like, oh, man, their cars are fast as hell, right? Viper ain't going that fast. 5th and 6th gear become worthless with its stock on top end. It's great for the track, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, but 5 and 6 is useless. Top X, Special Stage X is going to need it. So how they made this game, you could buy a part, put it on, but it's so easy. Just go to your parts list and take it off when you don't want it.
Right, yeah.
But the supercharger on the Viper, it made that motherfucker 500 horsepower to 840, right? So everything, the vitals have been good, green, saying excellent after every race. I run that Special Stage X, and it was 15 minutes at the limiter.
all dirty as shit. Engine tired.
It was orange. It was almost just off of 1 race. That's normal to bad.
Yeah, man. Like that's
go ahead,
TC.
No, I was gonna say that's probably, you know, one of my like when I do top speed, that's normally Special Stage Route X. I love doing it, and I love putting myself up against the competition to see how fast I can catch up to them. That was just, I would always do that.
Yeah, the tuning comes in. What's the one stage, Lex, where it's like you just pretty much making right hand turns? It's like it's the Tokyo joint, but it's just like it looks almost like a fucked up potato.
Oh,
it's like it's not. But I mean, I want to get on that with all y'all on this like unlimited and this mash on it, because it's just like you can pretty much, if your tuning is right. You don't brake much at all. You just let off the throttle and then stay off. Yeah,
there's only 2 brake on that.
Yeah, you just pretty much coast or downshift, and then like I was saying, if you just let off and let the RPMs come down, you can actually downshift without even braking. Like it just goes like it goes better and then starts going down and you shift right back up. And there's a lot of, again, the one place when kind of going back to S10. I was fucking up because I kept looking at, you seen that part where it kept telling you go down to 1st gear? That's what. Yeah, man. I'm like, what the fuck? But I'm thinking it's like, because again, I don't know spot like that. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go to 1st. And that whole corner, you can stay in 2nd gear, mid range, and it's cruise. And
so, listen, them, they were watching me drive, and they were in the chat talking.
Right.
And Kurt was like, man, why don't you wind out your gears? Like, to the limiter and then shift.
Yeah.
Because I'll come out of a corner, and if I got good speed, I'll just grab the higher gear and then so by exit, I've gotten that gear loaded up and going. And he's like, damn, man, you'd be faster if you really revved it out. And I'm like, but it's not specifically, no, because as I'm going through that corner, if I do hit throttle at that high of an RPM, right in the power, right in the torque, it might break the car loose, and it might not break the car loose. It might just load the suspension so much that the car it's not as stable.
Right.
If I stay on that G load, grab the gear, and it keeps that load locked in, and then it's just gradually accelerating through the nice arc of the curve. So they were, it's different driving styles.
Right. And especially the situation dictates on that, man, because it's just like one thing a lot of people ain't peeping, again, one of the small nuances, which I don't know if it was in sport. I just didn't really analyze it that much. But when you shift, you notice you let up, you clutch in, with those type of cars, the rear end comes up, squats back down. You're in it. It simulates the squatting that what a lot of guys don't understand. Oh, well, I'm spinning out because you're lifting off throttle or you're braking. You're throwing a fucking weight all over the place, man. Like people don't. They just think these are gamers mostly, honestly, and they don't race cars, so they don't know when you go into a corner. The guys are like, oh man, I think one of the guys said in the group, which he's a cool guy. I don't really know him that much, but he's kind of like complaining about the handling. He's like, at 60 mile per hour, I feel like I can handle. I'm like, bro, 60 mile per hour is not technically slow, and if you do the wrong thing at 60 mile per hour, you're gonna
on the track,
right. You're gonna
fast.
go somewhere. You're gonna go somewhere. You're gonna go off the track. You're gonna go into this wall. You're gonna hit the grass patch. You're gonna hit this rumble strip.
So here's something that a lot of people don't take into account that you could do on this game, right? When you choose your wheel size, it allows a bigger tire sidewall.
Yeah.
All right. When you do all of your setup on suspension, let's say you got a 16 or 17-inch tire wheel setup on a car that takes 19-inch rims. When you look at that tire now, that's a progressive spring rate. Because they do simulate the tires flexing and compression of the tires and shit now. Right. So when you do your tuning and setup, like I'm going to do this. I've got to show part of what I'm going to make a review. Part of the review is going to be showing a wide body version and a narrow body version of the same car with the same exact tunes and the same exact PP. When you make these cars, if it's wide body, it's more PP.
Yeah, yep.
The stock body car.
Yep.
But you the stock body car and add performance parts to it and make them the same PP, but it's going to be vastly different cars. So with the wide body car, when you make the wheels wide and the offset wide, if you look at the animation, it stretches the tires. What happens when you stretch the tire becomes more rigid and it breaks loose easier.
Yep.
So if you don't have to, or if you're not good at tuning the suspension, I should say, you're now making the car snap over because once it gets to that limit of adhesion, the sidewall's already got flex. It can't flex that much more. If the sidewall is straight up and down, when it flexes, you're good to go. But if you've already pulled some flex on it, that shit, you get those snap overs. So everybody that complains off of specific things of tuning, it's that, you ain't paying attention. Or you just don't know.
Yeah.
And when somebody tries to tell you something, but it shouldn't, you're not, they don't be listening to tutelage. They want to respond, Forza don't do this, or Assetto Corsa don't do this, because like there's these dudes trying to drift. And I'm trying to explain to them a little bit why their cars are responding, or actually I haven't begun to explain to them because they're just so hard. This ain't right. It ain't supposed to be like that. I get on the Assetto Corsa and this and that. But what you don't understand with Assetto Corsa is before the guy released the pack to you, he did hours, days.
Exactly. Nailed it right there. And that's where all those games, man, like all those, actually, I was like when I would fire up, even like back in the day, the first game I got on the PC was Live for Speed. So Live for Speed was like the precursor, because everybody was starting to mod on that, and then R Factor came out, and then like remember when R Factor 2 came out, everybody's like, nah, fuck that shit, and they still to this day they fuck with R Factor 1 because that's where the database is built. R Factor 2 had changed programming, and then after that Assetto came out, so R Factor 2 really didn't get any love because it was hard for modders, and then Assetto Corsa allowed it. iRacing, of course, I don't think they allow any of that shit. It is what it is. And then like, so you'll get a group of like Fuckboy 96 drift pack, and the cars suck. And then you upload the D1 All Stars pack, and all the cars are dope. And like over the years, so now I haven't played R Factor or Assetto on this. I haven't. Now it's oversaturated. Everybody got the best mod. Everybody got the pack with Ryan Little's car. Then you got a pack with this guy's car, and they're all different.
And that's exactly the problem with what happened in sim racing now. Sim racing got all these dudes new to it. They spend all their money on the wheel.
Like that one guy in that group, yeah.
Themselves, and they're driving packs that guys have put hours into development, and they're like, well, this is how it should be. Oh, I know, because I play, so I don't care.
That shit, man.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You play. You're not a tuner showing, because you're going on here with the vanilla car, with a generic development setup, and you have to build off of that. You're not able to get the car to perform properly because you kind of don't. And a lot of things, which I learned too, because I always learn in waves on Gran Turismo. I'll do something and the car handles really good, and I'll be like, all right, this is fine. But then something happened, or I'll get a change of idea and I do a different type of tune, and then the car's way better. And then I'm like, okay, I go and retune all the cars I love to drive with this thought process, with the theory, not with the same tune, but with this theory. Like, I started to realize how soft I have all of my suspensions, my sway bars and everything. It's hella fucking soft. But I would do this, do that, do this, and the car handled good. But at the point where I was driving, I wasn't fast enough to show myself that the car was too soft. Then when I got faster, and I'm like, fuck, why is the car doing this? Man, you look at the replay, that motherfucker damn near tipping over.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, so then I started really going and looking, and I'm like, well, how soft is this? You do the conversion, and then you're like, oh, blood, that's hella fucking soft. Then you go all the way on the other side of the spectrum, and now everything is stiffer, and the car is handling amazing. It's like, damn, now it's a go-kart. It's rifling through there. Then when you look at the replays, and the car is like on rails. It's not tipping over. It's not super squatting and bobbling. Because I used to be coming around corners, and I thought it was super tight, that my car would be lifting the inside front wheel, and it would be gliding and bobbling on the ground. That just meant my rear suspension wasn't good. You know what I mean? Like, that was supposed to be planted. Yeah, it might squat, but it ain't gonna be lifting the weight jacking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned on this, because if you look at it side by side, because I'll turn on the PS4 on the other screen, and I'll turn on the PS5 on this one, and I'll be looking at the setups between the cars, and then it's different settings on the shit.
Man, you see this video where I'm listening to you and I'm watching the thing. The way this guy's playing is the way 98% of the guys who are new to it, they just want to throw all the fucking parts in the car and just like push their way up to the front and then leave everybody. And you see his icon all the way out there. So that car, that car is like it's not that. It's boring. It's faster to get money to grind up. But like I say, having that race where I had that fucking GT whatever Porsche in my back, and his fucking lights kept going in my rear mirrors like this. That shit was making it was like, bro, I feel like my fucking heart rate's going up. I'm like, I'm in my shop playing a fucking game. My hands start sweating. I don't want to fucking, I want to make sure I don't over rotate on that last corner, because it can happen. And it's like, in the AI, it's like, this shit's like, man, bro, it's from, again, I'm gonna have to go online and well, I don't have to. I just want to, man, because a lot of these guys on these groups, man, talking the most shit, and they ain't race shit. You know what I mean? They ain't race nothing close to what they driving on that screen right there, man.
Yeah, Caesar, are you driving a wheel?
I due to my space, I'm kind of limited with my wheel options, but I do drive a wheel. I got a G29.
Okay.
So I was using that when I was playing sport. I use it sparingly, but sometimes due to my space and where my living quarters is in Saudi, I'm normally doing controller action. But before I came on vacation, I did rearrange everything so I could have my wheel out again. So I'm going to be running strictly wheel from here on out. Bro, once I get back.
Again, Kurt is not Kurt is really, really fast, man. and he's on a controller, but he's adapted to it. But I guarantee, and he said he got an older wheel. However fast he is with that controller, he would drop like another 5 seconds, I believe. That's just my personal experience. That wheel allows you to do things like when it understeers, you can slip real quick and then come back online and it catches the car. You can't do that. You can't feel it. So when I'm going around a corner, I can feel in the wheel the way I got it set up, slipping. You can slip. You feel a slip angle. Then you just count a quick counter steer to left back and you back center, and the car is tracking where it needs to go at. I heard they got triggers or whatever on it, but I just don't. Nah, bro. Like you got it. It's not like you playing a flight simulator or you got the little motorcycle thing and doing that with a motorcycle, but that's different because you got a throttle and you're just going left and right. I don't know if you feel anything through that wheel in the motorcycle joint. My bad. Jet's taking off right now. Fucking loud ass F-35s and shit. But yeah, man. All right. So this is my all my opinions. I'll make a separate video on it. The wheel and the cockpit view. If you gotta do it, man, because the third person shit. I was a third person guy, hardcore. Way back in the day, like I would only play in third person because I didn't like the helmet cam and the stuff like that. Before we got cockpit, when cockpit came around, I never did third person again. And when you play this game, it totally is fucking different. I don't care how sharp it feels in the cockpit. If you put that bitch in third person, that game it's a shitty game, dude. Like it really fucks up the game. It really, really messes up the game. So if you're gonna, you got to do like the hood. The hood view is fine because you can see the apex. We could go right on the tip of the hood. The one with nothing, I just never been a fan. Like it's like how do you aim with a screen? Like I'd never been a fan of that one. So yeah, man, the third person view and the controller, it really makes the car look unstable. It wobbles and it does all that stuff, man. So I tried it last night and it looks like shit, man.
Yeah. It's
my personal opinion.
It's few different. Yeah, you could play. We could all be playing the same game, but we're getting a different experience.
Yeah.
Or on GT Planet losing their shit over something that the third person view does. Now, first person view has the cameras, the Wobble 1 and Wobble 2.
Right.
Third view also has its camera change. People, I think they're losing their shit because of they have a static camera or something. I don't know what it is, but they're like, oh my fucking god, I can't play this game.
But my thing is, like, I posted, like, why are you, like, these developers went through all this trouble, man, to simulate that game with a cockpit. You don't drive like Mr. Bean sitting on the fucking roof of your car. That one meme that goes around. It's like, bro, you're simulating. Like, if you're gonna waste your time now playing this game, you're playing it because you're simulating racing. If you don't want to do that, then it's like, why even Need for Speed was better for you, man. Like, it was just, or even Car X Drift, that's better for you to play if you just want to drift like that and it's the ease. So it's like, I just don't get it. I don't get the gripes and the bitches. And it's like, especially if you never took in any car to the limit on the track in real life, what are you speaking on? What do you speak? What are you comparing this to? Again, when you're a guy like yourself who's this on Laguna 2 weeks ago, and then you break it down the thing to somebody like, nah, but actually I'm like, and you never done autocross before, and you're telling a dude that's been on the track, has the fastest fucking lap for a stock RX-8, blah blah blah, and you're trying to tell me, nah, this is how it is. I'm like, nah, dude, actually, I don't. This is how I drive. I look out my window. I got my hands in front of me, my hands on the steering wheel. That's the view. The reason why they developed the game, they're not going to try to make that game mastered around a third-person view because that's not how it is. That you don't drive a car from sitting on a fucking wing. You know what I'm saying? It don't work that way.
Yeah, but people just want that. They want to see the cars. They want to see stuff.
Yeah.
Eye candy that's pretty tight.
Yeah.
With the anti at nighttime. Yeah.
Guilty. I'm not gonna lie. It was not just besides the view. For me, it was like I wanted, like, it's kind of like, because like I said, I'm a rookie when it comes to suspension, so I like to see how the car moves on the outside as well while I'm doing curves and stuff. Now, I think it'll, like, once the new VR comes out,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't even need the VR. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but you don't even need the VR. It's the cockpit is gonna, you can see in it. With the one thing on that too, again, Lex, I was saying it before. Every car, if you sit like it's no shit, man. Like your TV screen, how you got it, you gotta have the TV screen straight up. And if you don't, it's not like you can kind of see over the dat, but you gotta let like the one you see on the screen right there. He can raise that seat up a little bit more because his wheel, that top at the top, but his wheel blocks his apex. He can't see the apex. But they just get in the car and driving it, so you can put the seat back, up or down. So it's going to depend on the steering wheel. So they're not telling you to put it up or down. They're just gonna put the tools out there. And if you drive the car with the wheel blocking your apex, then you can't see. If I put the seat up, I can see the apex just enough over the front of the hood. I can see the apex. So counter to that, if you put your seat low, you will go faster because you're looking out further. So that's the thing too. So you can go back and forth from that, and the seat position's all different. The wheel shapes are all different. The millimeter could be a 360, 320, IndyCar wheel or oval wheel at the bottom, whatever. So these cars are all different, man. So like you can't apply. I think what the biggest, I mean, to wrap my shit up because I'm talking too much, man. You can't apply what you do in RX-7 to what you're gonna do in a GT3. You can't apply, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to apply what they're doing in the Abrif to a fucking Honda Civic.
The Porsche is the most nerve-wracking vehicle to drive on any sim.
I thought it was just because in sport, when I had to do that endurance race, and I'm not a Porsche driver anyway, and I made the mistake of trying to.
Which one did GT3 or what?
Dog,
not GT3
RS, the new 991 is better to drive than a lot, but 996, 997, 993, all of those, it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Are we going fast?
Yeah.
Like, you feel the same thing, Trey?
Man.
Yeah. That car, bro, it seems like it's a very thin line between, we're driving, or no, we're in space.
Yeah.
We're in space. So here's what I suggest on Porsches. Brake balance, the brake bias adjuster. And it's not great. It's not great, but it kind of works. Brake bias adjuster, adjust the brakes to the front. When you brake, straight line braking, letting the downshifting engine braking handle the back, and lightly roll off of the brakes as you apply gas. The car will go, you know what I mean? It'll be pulled back from the engine braking, settled in the front with the braking, and then as you roll off and apply gas, it will go through pretty smooth. It'll still oversteer it'll step out a couple of degrees, but it's just enough that you're almost neutral steering now. You're not counter steering. It's so tough to drive those cars, and you think you're going slow. You really do, but then when you look at it, you're kind of riding.
Yeah.
But they're tough to drive, man.
Yeah.
I noticed that on Corsa. Assetto Corsa. I tried to go up Spa. That car might as well have been in the stratosphere doing all kind of weird shit.
Yeah,
Zero gravity.
I just can't do it. It's like when I'm driving, and then the minute you turn, it's like, wait a minute, I only want to turn like 1 or 2 degrees. Why is my ass looking like it's gonna hit the wall?
There you go, Lex, right there. I loaded up the video with the guy driving the Mercedes on Nürburgring wet. And he's saying it's pretty much undrivable. So I think the rain, in my personal opinion, they got to calm it down a little bit because I'm like, bro, I've driven in rain a lot, and I go Lex.
No. We went to Laguna Seca. It rained. It went from dry having grip to cars crashing everywhere.
Really?
On the racetrack, when it's wet, whatever they treat these tracks with or whatever is in the asphalt, and the amount of cars that go over them, the amount of rubber that's laid on the track, dog, when it rains, it's like that. So it's like, yeah, it's shocking when you do it, but we were at a track, literally, it was sunny all day, and the very last session, well, not the last one, it was the 5th session out of 6, there were cars flying into tire stacks everywhere because it rained. And they just stopped the lap because it was like, all right, either y'all go hella slow or we're not going to do the sessions, because it is almost a waste of time to drive race cars with race tires in the rain, unless you have wet tires, rain tires, because it's kind of like, well, you're going to drop your speed.
That's the video, right? You on the point right there. The video he has racing hard, and he just showed the map, and he set the rain to torrential downpour. So in this video right here is dry, and he keeps the wind is increasing, which is blowing the clouds over and shit like that, just like real life. It's already getting dark. So in this video, in a couple of seconds, it's gonna be like straight storm and everything.
Yeah.
And then you got the racing hard tires on, which
But the thing with driving in the wet on a racetrack, it has to be consistent. If it's patchy, it's dangerous.
Skill, that's the yeah.
When it's all wet, that's safer, because everywhere you go on that track, it's gonna have the same type of adhesion.
Right.
Just if you're like dry, that motherfucker gonna do like that, like the S10 challenge. You're going to be all over the place, back and forth, looping, crashing into shit. But if it's all wet, you can kind of like, okay, well, I know when I start to turn here, it's going to understeer all the way to the apex. Then when it hits the apex, then it's going to oversteer. You kind of get a method to your madness as you move through that.
Right.
It's real. I know a lot of people are like, it's been a
topic. You see the cloud getting gray right there?
Dude, I had a race like that, and I was pushing, and I'm like, this is great. And I saw the clouds coming, and it was getting darker, and I'm like, oh, shit. But I had the stock, because all of my cars, I keep the stock tires that came with them. If I do change tires, I only go one step up. So if those are the stock tires that came with it, it's a road car, it should handle rain. So when it does rain, the cars go straight through the rain as normal. It's the people that put racing tires on them. Right. It's impossible. It's like, woo, boy.
That and on the rain shit right there, man. Like, and I get you guys' thought on the trigger and TC, man, was the dudes like, off the thing comparing like GT to like Forza or whatever, the 5, whatever the fuck. And it's like, dude, the rain's coming in. But they're like, oh, it's no rain on the screen. Like, bro, when in life do you go outside and there's no screen? It's your fucking eyeballs. So like the whole rain on the screen thing is like bullshit anyway. Like it shouldn't be rain on the screen. Like that effect does not make the game better. Like you want rain on the screen, you go in the cockpit and it's rain on your windshield. That's the screen. That's the screen. It's not on your fucking TV screen. Like that doesn't, like the shit that they're comparing. I'm like, bro, you're just like one guy. So some guys are fucking people around. Like they're trolling. Like one guy was like, why did the drifters get a handbrake? Like the handbrake was never in GT ever. So the handbrake adjusting, so you could adjust the torque of the your handbrake. And he put up a post and they had like 80-something comments, and like some people didn't get he was fucking with him. But other people was like, what? The e-brake's always been there. GT didn't get a new e-brake and everything. And it's like, man, they're just, I don't know, man. I enjoy the game. Everybody here at TC is going to enjoy the game. We all enjoy it. We're all a little bit biased because we like the game, but at the same time, not really, because we played everything. I played all of it.
What did I say before this came out? They were this fucking close to losing me to Pure Assetto Corsa, or whatever. Because it's just we've seen Gran Turismo since '96, right? There's no reason I should have gotten a 2020 version, 2019, 2018 version of Gran Turismo with GT Sport, where you stripped everything that I'm used to from me. There's no reason I should have got that. There's no reason you should have gave me that as a consumer. You could have said, hey guys, we're working on something. It's going to take us a couple more years. Here's a sport concept that we're working on. Like they later came out and told us that. We later understood what GT Sport was, but before we're like, this ain't GT7. You know what I mean?
That ain't, it's like it. Not. I'm just saying, like, with a lot of the good video games, at least 3 to 4 years. I've noticed that when they're really good. I'll give you another example. Metal Gear is another series like that.
Yeah.
When Hideo Kojima was running it, it took them like a good 4 to 5 years before any sequel or anything was even processed. I understood the concept behind sport. I really did. And I think what really they want to do with sport was to really try to gauge the online appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing, was to gain the online appeal. I mean, the offline was okay. I liked it. Wish it could have had more stuff to it, but everything was basically focused.
It had its purpose, man. Like you said, with the online stuff, it had its purpose in the sport. What people don't realize too, because I mean, we're not gonna act like they didn't take any elements of sport and transpose it over. They definitely did. Sport was right
in the game, right?
Yeah, sport.
Off at the top side.
Yeah.
You daily races. You got your everything. Sport is right there in the top now.
It's like they combined it. That's cool right there. Shit like that right there, right there. Green flags, like people who go to the track, we know what a yellow flag is. We know what a white flag is. We know what a black flag is. We know what a blue flag is. We know the flags because we had a driver briefing. They had the flags out. When you see this flag, you're going too fucking slow. Get off the track. Move out the racing line. You're gonna come off. You're gonna pit, and you're gonna move down into the slower group. We know that, Lex. We know what I got the flag at fucking Tsukuba. Hurt my pride, but at the same time, I knew I was driving. My skills was up part. That's why they put me in the pros. But I had a fucking 200 horsepower Subaru truck, and I was getting blown up by a fucking Elise, a supercharged Lotus Elise. I'm in a way. I'm a hazard. So you just, hey man, let me go down to the class, and then now I'm fucking faster. But you know what I mean? It's I'm not a hazard, and like that shit like that on the game. If you race, you know what that flag means. So you see, oh fuck, this hazard's coming up. Somebody spun out. Somebody's broken in the middle of the track. Somebody's off to the side of the track. You know all that shit. So you prepared, man. So it's a lot of all the little nuances, man. And I see it, it's like, man, they fucking nailed it. And then the fact that the producer Kazunori is an actual pro licensed driver makes it a whole different element, man. And let's, I mean, this sounds like a fucking GT smear campaign. If it ain't for fucking GT, you don't got turn 10. You ain't got none of this shit you playing right now. None of it. And that anybody could argue, ain't nobody out there that I know of that's making a video game got more experience, hands-on. And I might be wrong, but I'm confident in saying this than Kazunori, both making a game and driving a car. I don't think so.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
Yeah, just like I'm the only black dude in Japan with a performance shop. I know I'm right. So it's like, yeah, man, it is. What you think, Trigger, man? What's the funniest gripe you've seen so far, Trigger, of people like this, like, you know, this kind of making excuses for their lack of being able to play the game? You Trigger there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I was.
What's your? Yeah, go ahead.
What's the other question? What was the question? I'm sorry.
But you like? I heard you drop some metal. You building guns over there or something, man? Like you got the. But no, what I was saying, man, was what's the so far since the game has been out, man? What's been one of the things you've seen online? One of the most funniest, humorous things you've seen online from somebody complaining about regarding the game.
I haven't really honestly been looking for the reviews. I've just been trying to step my game playing. I haven't even been on YouTube watching anybody else play it like that. Only thing I see was Lex doing some laps and trying new cars out. But otherwise than that, I haven't really looked at the reviews because I want to experience everything for myself firsthand. Or anything the things that I do like. That's it. I haven't really been looking at it.
That's actually 100%. Because actually, I found my right before because I had my game loaded up before Lex got his, And I caught myself right there because I was like, man, I won't want nobody to tell me. So I was telling them about the intro to the high speed ring, and I didn't tell him, I didn't say what it was. I was like, you'll see it. And then you said it, and he was like, man, these intros are dope. And unfortunately, my bad, TC, we done talked about it, but we didn't give you like the intricate details. But it's one of that is true, man, because the reviews is something that would have been cool back in the day when we had magazines, before the gaming channel came out, and Info Gamer and stuff like that, and Tech TV. I remember G4 Gaming and all that shit. There was no YouTube, so that shit was like dope to see a game review. And that was the next up from the magazine, from buying the Info Gamer shit. When we back in the day, all we had was that's what I'm saying, man. We're all older dudes, and we came from all that shit. And these new young fucking dudes are spoiled. They get fucking up. They've been like your son Lex. He's known as updates since he's been alive. That's all he's known as updates and DLC, and it's like Netflix now, where they not controlling what you watch on Saturday cartoons, and right after that Kung Fu Theater comes on, that was all shit. We knew Kung Fu Theater came on right after the cartoons went off. That was about after lunchtime, and we watched the shit with the subtitles fucked up because we didn't know they were dubbing it. I didn't know that back then. You know what I'm saying? So and we watched what the fuck they put out there. Now you go on Netflix and it's like, it's so much shit out there, man, that and you can watch the whole series Ozark in one night, and it's just too much shit. So these guys are really not. My whole thing, I keep kind of going back to it, running in a circle. They're just not appreciating where we come from and what this fucking game is doing without any updates yet.
Okay, I got one more question. I won't.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I do gotta get out here.
I was gonna say, what? Okay, I know we all, like I said, I know we're all car enthusiasts. Yeah. But what was one video game that got you into auto racing? What was the racing game?
It was GT1. What got me into auto racing was definitely GT1, because GT1 was for me. What about you guys?
It was an absolute direct line from there might as well have been a breadcrumb trail from my console to me going track. Yeah. It was absolutely Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
I want to say the first game that I've played was Ridge Racer before Gran Turismo.
Me too, yep.
So but I went from Ridge Racer, Gran Turismo to Gran Turismo to
God damn.
All right, for me, this one's gonna. For me, I don't know if you I know you guys been gamers as well, but for me, it was a game that came out in 1991 for the Sega Genesis called Super Monaco GP.
Oh yeah. We played it.
That was the game that really got me into auto racing, because it was I guess it was like kind of a knockoff of Formula One, because they couldn't use the drivers' names or anything like that.
Right.
But I think that was the game that really got me in racing game.
I lied, man. It actually, I want to say, because again, I don't want to be biased. It actually was it was a Need for Speed, not Pursuit, but there was a first Need for Speed where they had the H pattern shifter on there on the screen. Mm-hmm. I forgot which one, but it was undrivable, man. Like, I forgot, but that game, that was actually the first game I like put a bunch of time in. It was actually, I don't think it was Need for Speed. It was something else that was close to Need for Speed, but
it might have been because the first time I sat and continuously, that's all I did. I didn't go do nothing else. I didn't put another game. It was Road and Track presents Need for Speed.
It was like it wasn't glitzy and glamour. It wasn't like it is now. It was like a regular car. Yeah, that's what it was.
It was a review game.
Right.
You just got the car sceneries. It was the review of Road and Track for the RX-7, the FD, the Supra, the Lamborghini Diablo. It was those cars for that year. That was a review that they made a game. Road and Track presents Need for Speed. Now, I put a ton of time on that.
Right here. Yep.
Yeah. That was the first time that I put in the time, but it didn't make me say, I'm going to do cars for the rest of my life. When I got on Gran Turismo, and I was already fond of cars because of because of those games.
Yep.
So I remember playing that. I remember I like this car. I could put this part on. It's a little faster. My want to drive that car made me say, okay, I want to replicate this. Because how I got my RX-7 the way that it was because I got the RX-7 on the game, and I was like, I like driving that RX-7. And when I got one in real life, I said, well, I already know it handles good. I've read up on it now from playing the game, and I know this thing handles good. So let me make it handle good and then get it a little bit faster. And then I did that, and I was still playing Gran Turismo, and I was like, I'm going to a racetrack. Let me take this car that I built in real life and take it to the racetrack and see what this real life Gran Turismo shit's all about. I started playing Gran Turismo in 96. I was like 15 or 16. No, I wasn't 16. I was fucking mad young because I was 16 in 99. I think it was 16 or 17. But anyway, I went to my first track day in 2000. So it took me 4 years to get my car how I wanted it, from being a 13, 14-year-old experiencing it on Gran Turismo to get to a car that I wanted, modify how I wanted, get enough driving around in the back roads, and take my motherfucking ass to the track. But literally direct line from Gran Turismo 1, then GT2. That just was like, you are doing this. And then my whole fucking life from 96 to 2022 has literally been side by side with this game that's allowed me to do sharpening, real world sharpening, sitting in my house. And then when I go to a racetrack, this house I'm in, I even bought this house because Sonoma Raceway is right there. Bought a house next to my favorite track. So it's just like, so imagine if I was like super fucking balling, where they got those clubs where you buy the house on the racetrack and you got the zone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what my life would be because I found, you know what I'm saying, this game. So yeah, I got my love of cars for these, but directly getting to the track, that came from Turismo.
Yeah, no doubt. Because they got the because actually I looked at that thing that date does correlate because I seen that that first Need for Speed that was 97.
Yep.
So I'm not. There was the same year. There was the same year.
Yep.
So Gran Turismo was December like 20. It was like December, like a little bit after, before Christmas, I believe. I can't remember the exact date, but I remember I got that game, man. Say again.
I thought it was December 97. I thought it was.
Yeah, December 97 is when it came out. Yeah, because that's. And then the 97 was also Need for Speed. I can't remember which one, but Need for Speed was the first because I couldn't play this shit. It was like they were actually, and also in that game it was a little bit advanced because they had you had to shift the gears and it would show the shifter on a screen, but you would miss the gears though.
But the Road and Track presents Need for Speed, which was 3DO. That game came out in 94.
Yeah, my bad. So that's because I know it was early. It was real blocky and that's the one that I first because I was like it was like no music. There was no. It was like really like a presentation. Like it makes sense now. It was like a presentation of something. It was like really bland. I'm like, where the fuck's the music and explosions and shit?
Remember back in the day, we would get magazines and it would be a video inside the magazine or something inside the magazines. That's what this was originally. It was a car review that they wanted to do interactive from Road and Track. Road and Track hooked up with Electronic Arts and 3DO to make this situation. It only had those 6 cars on it. But I think it was 5 sceneries: country road, city.
What was the name of it again? I'm gonna type it in here.
You have to put in Road and Track presents The Need for Speed. That's the whole title. That was the first one. That was August 94.
Yeah, cause I think it also came out on PS1 too, if I'm not mistaken.
A later iteration of it, but that's when we got Need for Speed 2, and then we got Hot Pursuit, because that very first.
Yep, this is it for sure. I remember seeing that classic EA shit right there.
Had to follow the speed limits, because there were cops that rode on that country road, and if you passed them going too fast, the police did chase you. So what happened was, when Need for Speed 2 came out, then that was an element, right? But then
this is 100%, 100% right here.
Yeah, that was the original. That's 94.
Yeah.
So Turismo came after that, but I was already loving the FD and the Supra from there. So this is before all the Fast and Furious.
I didn't know about car. I was just playing it because it was a game, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Gran Turismo is what got me. Like, I'm like, why the fuck's this guy? Blah blah blah. Like, that's what kind of got me. Like, that was a spark. Yep. But I was playing, like, again, Ridge Racer and RC Pro-Am and Excite Bike.
This was a car review that happened to be a computer game. It was an the next thing that came after that was Test Drive.
Yep,
Was the
Test
only
Drive.
other
Test Drive.
Test Drive. Yep.
And it had and all of the. It was really
actually
good.
My bad. Test Drive was the one that had the shifter. The shifter would be like, it was like a gated shifter on the screen. Then it had so Test Drive, and it wasn't really like, Need for Speed is the one that kind of, like, if you will, like Monster Energy to that shit. They started, like, spicing it up, music and the graphics and all that shit. And then, like, Test Drive, I remember Test Drive I didn't like Test Drive as much because it was harder to play. Yeah.
I remember, I remember first finding out about GTRs, the Skyline GTR, from an article back in the 90s, and this was before I even went to Japan, and they were talking about the Skyline GTR. I'm like, why don't Nissan bring this? And it was between that and the 3000 GT. I was like, I love these cars,
and FTO. FTO is one car that a lot of people don't know about, man.
Yeah, the front wheel drive killer. FTO was so cool, but that Gran Turismo is a specific reason why I understood what the FTO was.
Right.
Because you saw that Puma livery.
Here you go, Lex. There you go, Lex. See that? You see the shifter? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That actually, dude, now that I'm thinking, this was the one that my cousin had, and it would have had it was PC. It was harder to play, and you would miss the gears. Like, it would go in neutral, and I didn't fucking know, clutch, and so they get to press C, and then you had to hit the direction pad to shift up. And if you didn't do that, it wouldn't go in gear. Yeah, that one right there with the little gate. Yep. So
oh man.
Yeah, man. Yep. So that's what.
Oh yeah, that shit.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, man. And they had the dot on the fucking wheel for center. So, like, even back then, like, they were like, they knew what it was supposed to be. And then, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we played this shit, man. All of us played this shit right here. And now we playing GT7 in 2022 with fucking light refracting graphics and fucking, you can't tell. Like, I put that shit, I don't know if you've seen, Lex, I posted it, well, you probably see, I posted my video in the S2000 group, and, like, it fucking blew up, and everybody's like, oh shit, like, we thought that was real for a second, yeah. And then all these laughing emojis because they all got fooled by the game and shit, and then it spawned a conversation there. I was like, no, it's GT7. And then one guy said something about sound. I'm like, dude, I recorded it on my phone. It sounds a lot cooler, the actual which come. But yeah, this is one of the first ones I played, and it kind of like, gotten in this and they going up. But the this stuff. So then when you play stuff like GTA, you want to, like, but GTA is not driving game, but they even put like the modders modded. They put F1 cars in there and different things. They changed a regular game into a racing game. So it's just, the evolution is crazy, man. You know, so I just, my thing is just like, these guys really don't understand what how fortunate they are to play a game like this, and where we come from.
Man,
I mean, if not, they go on to PS2 to play Destruction Derby.
Yeah, yeah, man. Twisted Metal, all that shit, man. Like the, yeah, man. It's crazy, man. But hey, guys, man. Like I definitely would like to do this longer. We definitely could do it again, man. See y'all the midterm. After we get some updates in, we could probably do this again. Next time around, man. For the group, for me and Lex joining, we'll just be Skype because Skype works for us. But my bad, guys. We couldn't get you faces on there and everything. But we'll do Zoom the next time because Zoom for sure works with groups. Skype is trying to emulate Zoom and it's obviously fucking up because we can't see. I can't see on my end. I can't see TC or Trigger, man. So and Lex can, but I don't know what's going on. So we'll do Zoom next time. I'll put a group up and anybody wants to hop in. And Zoom honestly keeps it better because they keep the same block. Like for me, more people jumps in, I gotta resize. Zoom it'll stay one size and it'll just keep doing like the Brady Bunch shit with all of those squares and everything. So we'll do that, man. So yeah, man. Like, again, TC, you'll play it in a couple of days here, and you'll run through it and do all the stuff. I mean, my personal recommendation is just do the cap. You got to do the cafe shit to unlock stuff, and then after you get a certain amount of stuff unlocked, you can kind of roam as you want. But you gotta do the cafe stuff. You can't really you can't bypass it. Unfortunately, you got to do it.
Oh, that's no worries.
Yeah, then the cafe unlocks license because you can't even go to license. You can't. That's the difference. You can't go right to a license. They make you go to the cafe, do all that stuff. So before you get to the license, you're actually driving. So it's not like it's such a shock. Yeah. So you got to drive you got to pick between a Toyota hybrid, the Vitz, and some other cars. So I got a Toyota because it had more power. So
I never drove Toyota too.
Yeah, and it's all and it just says D. There's no shifting.
No. Oh shit.
Yeah, this says D. So yeah, it is what it is. But hey, man, guys, thanks for the time. I gotta get my son's oldest birthdays today. So I gotta get out there and go pick up. Yeah, I gotta go pick up his cake and I already got him toys and shit already. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm excited for what's to come, man. And we all older guys and everything. And I'm just, like I was telling guys, I'm kind of jealous. 30 years from now, if we're fortunate enough to be around, I'm just, like, how far can it go, man? Like, we just put on a halo and you're in the car. Like, it's going to be there. It's going to get to that point. Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
It's already, we got the technology. We got the technology. It's just, they got to improve it and make sure motherfuckers not going to have convulsions, blah, 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 before they put it out. Because that's why, if you remember back in the day, for the guys who are new to it, that's why VR's been around for a long time. VR's been around since early 90s before that, but motherfuckers were having like headaches, seizures, and all that stuff. That's why it says in the description, this may cause seizures because it will if you got
virtual boy.
Oh yeah, that red shit. That shit gave me headaches, man.
You remember that?
Yeah, that shit gave me. Yeah, that shit gave me headaches, man. I couldn't. I was one of those people, man. I couldn't do that shit. And even with the PSR, I played it at Alan's house first, and he had the thing too close to my headset, so it kept refreshing it, but I didn't know it, and I was trying to compensate on Nürburgring. Yeah, yep. And I was sick. I was fucked up for 2 weeks after that, man. No shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was
damn.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I was feeling like my equilibrium was fucked up.
It does it when the camera's too close. The screen in the headset goes from you moving your head past it to it staying.
Dude, I felt
when you
doing this. Yeah, on no shit, TC on the Nürburgring when you come around the corners and you get that one straightaway and then you got the back and then the straightaway goes to a left hand corner. I got to that point of the track, and before I even got to that point of the track, 3 minutes before that, I was already cold sweating and feeling nauseous, and I didn't want to be a bitch, so I kept driving it, and I took it off, like, dude, I'm done, man. At that straightaway, I'm like, bro, I'm done. Something's wrong here, and I was fucked up, man. I was fucked up for 2 weeks.
trust me, I was playing this. I got this game called Ace Combat 7.
Oh yeah.
And I put on my man, you talking about something that was actually nauseous afterwards? Man, I did a couple of missions. I was like,
fucking mouth watering and shit, cold sweats. Feel like you got fucking HIV.
You feel funny in your head and get them heat where you swallowing.
Yeah.
I did that. It's Combat 7 the other day because me and my boy, we were gonna go make them fake Ghost of Kiev videos where we were flying mid-20s. And dog, yeah, I haven't played it in like 2 years, and I'm like, what the fuck? The other part is you're going like this and you hit your goddamn head on the wall, looking around at people trying to shoot at you and shit.
But then again, it tells you there right there, the calibration, it says like they want you to be at least 6 feet away from that thing. So I got it now. I'm mounting up my wall this is about 4.5, 5 feet. So it's definitely better, and I haven't had any issues with it. But when I was at Witchcom's house, it wasn't even a foot away from me. So that thing was all fucked up. So like when you got the Oculus, same thing. Like you got to set your zone, you got to do all that shit, man. So I will say, PC is its own thing. It's good, it's advanced, but you got more setup. Console, the gap's been bridged, man. So these PCs, I build PCs, but the gap is no longer there like it used to be. These Xbox and the PlayStation 5, the specs are like a really good PC. You know what I mean? You can't upgrade it, but it's there, man. But again, man, I gotta get to it, man. I'm like way behind right now. But again, man, thank you guys for the time, man. TC, you'll play it soon. Again, Trigger, man, thanks. We'll get on there more and mix it up, man. I'm looking to make some sales and get some money in the bank so I can really, really, take time off, because I didn't play GT Sport for a year, like a whole year. It was the last time I touched GT Sport, man. So I'm really just that busy over here, man. So definitely want to get into the game, play it, and all that stuff like that. But again, guys, thanks for your time, TC, Trigger, Lex, and everybody. Again, guys out there. Again, I played on the PlayStation regular for 2 days. I got a Pro. And I can tell you for sure, man, the leaps and bounds with 4K and 2K, big difference. So I can only imagine the difference in a PS5. So I'll be one of the only guys that's played that I played all 3 stages of it when I get a PS5 and everything, and it looks amazing on a PS4 regular. So definitely get the game. Don't wait too long and just get it now and just upgrade when you can, because if you wait, man, you're gonna be way behind the power curve, and everybody's gonna be experiencing it and have all gold and everything, and you're just gonna be starting out with the little Polish dude or whatever the fuck, like Post Malone guy. So
get your hands up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. So again, guys, thanks for doing that, man. I'm gonna get out of here, get to it and everything. And again, guys, just if you want to check me out, one thing I'll do, everybody's stuff, I'll get the PSN. So I'm Pinku style. Lexis, we'll get all the gamer tags and put them down there so you guys can add us all and everything and link up with us and everything. We're all older dudes, cool dudes, and we're just looking at, we're older cats playing games, man, and like they've all changed. These games have all changed our lives in one way or the other. For me, I'm a black dude in Japan running a tuning shop. Like, what the fuck, man? All from Gran Turismo 1, major catalyst, but still, Gran Turismo 1 had a factor. That's why I'm giving it so much love and taking time out and doing the 3rd podcast in a row on it, because it's that game that it affords me to do what I do today and do shit that I never thought I'd be able to do in my life, which is go to a track and do cool shit and, that type of shit, man. So it is what it is. But again, it's going to be Donnie signing off from South Japan, Lex from California. Trigger, where you at, man?
I'm in
AZ. And then TC's and we'll just OPSEC stuff. So somewhere in the Middle East. So, yeah. But working with
vacation in Thailand.
Yeah, you move, like I said, you got old ladies all over, man. So you're going to Thailand, Philippines, fucking Cambodia breast milks, and some of the finest breast milks and everything. All right, guys. See you guys later, man. Peace.
All right, y'all.
Peace.